Now we come towards the optical fiber. Optical fiber is nothing. It is basically a narrow tube which has got inner portion of different refractive index and coated portion has a different refractive index. This is based on the total internal reflection. It has a fine quartz or a plastic fiber spun in the form of a rope. It is covered with material having lower refractive index so that the condition of total internal reflection may be satisfied. Now two figures are shown. That is on the left side, that is coated material is indicated on the top and the bottom portion, and optical fiber. That is, the whole figure is optical fiber, and intermediate medium, that is between the two coatings, has a different refractive index. So incident light is striking it is passing in the air medium in the tube, and it is successively being reflected. It is shown in the form of a tube in the right side. So when light enters from one side, it comes out from the other side with very high intensity. Light is propagated through this fiber by a process of total internal reflection. No power is wasted by way of transmission outside the fiber. Now, there are certain important differences between the total internal reflection and reflection. So when we use this term total internal reflection, it's a special phenomena, and reflection just like a normal phenomena, that when incident light falls on a particular point, it gets reflected. We draw a normal at that point, and angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. So we come to the main concept, that is, there are four basic differences in reflection and total internal reflection. The very first point for reflection is it is possible in any medium. But when we speak total internal reflection, it is possible only when light enters from denser to rarer medium, as shown right in the very beginning of the lecture, that is where we have taken water and air interface. Second point is at any angle of incidence it is possible. But in the total internal reflection, when angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, then only the total internal reflection takes place. Then similarly, in the third point, in this some part of light is absorbed, whereas some part is reflected. But in case of total internal reflection, total intensity of light is reflected, that is in the same medium. Then comes the fourth point, that is in case of reflection, the surface will appear less bright, whereas in total internal reflection, we find that by total internal reflection, surface appears more bright. So in reflection and refraction, we don't find that surfaces appear as bright as compared to the total internal reflection, because total internal reflection means that incident light falls on the interface and gets reflected in the same medium, and that's why the brightness is very fine. Now we come towards the rainbow formation. We assume like that in atmosphere during the rain, in atmosphere there are water molecules which are suspended and they behave like prisms. So when the light from sun falls on those drops, we find that dispersion takes place. This principle is adopted in the explanation of rainbow. So first thing is the colored spectrum of white light from the sun in the form of bows, which is seen immediately after the rain, is called rainbow. So it is basically the dispersion of white light from the sun by the suspended water molecules after the rain. And we find dispersion takes place from the water molecules. They are behaving like prism, and the white light splits into 7 colors, but very prominent colors we can see. These are of 2 types. One is primary rainbow, the other is secondary rainbow. There is a very slight difference. In the primary rainbow, its order of color is from red to violet, but from secondary, it is from violet to red. We can say like that in a primary rainbow, a red color is seen because of reason its wavelength is very large. And in secondary, the primary color is violet, which is seen but slightly with a delay time. Now, next is, that is in case of primary rainbow, the intensity is more. But in the secondary rainbow, the intensity of the colors will be less. That is, energy per unit area per unit time must be very less. The next point is, in primary rainbow, it is formed by the first total internal reflection and then dispersion. So primarily, total internal reflection takes place and finally dispersion. That is splitting of white light into 7 colors is indicated, and the dominant colors will be red towards violet. Then in the secondary rainbow, it is formed by 2-time internal reflection and then dispersion. So first of all, 2 internal reflections takes place and finally 1 dispersion takes place.